So when he was explaining, going through this, he said, base it off this sheet I've given you. He said probably the best place to start is, he said here, see this example he gave here, this link, this YouTube link?
Yeah.
He was saying it's probably best to actually go and watch that first, because that is an example. No, he's already given you all the details for your company and what you're trying to do. But this is just an example of, so he's gone and said here, where's he written?
MC could choose them.
Yeah, it says that there, but he's actually, remember in that group, this group here, he's given you the business that you guys are representing, which is that fantastic music. He's given you your location. He's given you what you're actually, like, what's the goal of the business, that you're expanding into Adelaide and one in the Gold Coast. He's then given you even more detail here. Your office has been used to a one-shop model in which communication was directly through meetings and working face-to-face. There is a lot of information that is stored in the main computer of the shop, but now needing to look at a cloud-based system solution to share the important documents across the different shops. Your office has a mixture of digital components throughout the group with an age variance between 20 to 60-year-old. So probably the first step is to go, okay, this is who we are now. We are this fantastic. Because actually what's happening is, he was explaining, you are then going to have to present this to that business, almost as if you guys are business advisors. So it's almost like this company has gone to seek your advice on how to best improve their communication. So what you're actually presenting to them in the end
is a solution
to this current issue. And you're presenting it as almost like a business, not report, but business, what was the word he used? Business plan almost. You're presenting it as a business plan, like saying, this, we understand this is your goal. We understand this is your demographic. The team is made up of a group of 20 to 6-year-olds. So automatically, I'm just thinking in my head, okay, there's ones that are going to be very
tech savvy,
understand how to use this, but then there's ones that won't be. So you've got to take this all into consideration when you're providing your plan in the end to go, okay, are we catering to this particular business? There was no previous code of conduct established for the use of digital platforms, so your report needs to include a guideline. So not only are you presenting a report, but you're actually presenting a code of conduct to them to say, okay, once you're now using this online base, confidentiality, how to best manage it, no using your personal use. So you can actually get a lot of code of conducts already written online and just one-time copy them, but make it obviously saying, as an employee of fantastic music, I will not use this cloud-based system for personal use. This will be used by a security system. There will be passwords which cannot be shared. So you're almost representing, you're not representing the business, you're actually representing the company. You're providing that, where is it in here? That link that you guys, your other group one, it says that you're representing the company called
Slack.
That's the word.
Where did you see? No, I don't think I have that paper. Here, which introduces Slack.
Oh yeah. So the other groups have been given Google Camp-based, but you guys are actually using Slack. So in that group message, he messaged you guys. Where is that? Assessment group discussion. Sorry, it's in this one.
Oh.
And you are group 3. So group 3. Hi group 3, letting you know these are your members. Yep, we know that. And look at Simma. She even wrote thank you. What a good student. And so then that second one is you guys, obviously that's what this is, the fantastic music breakdown. What's the goals? What needs to be achieved? Who's the employees and what needs to be done? So that's all in that task bit there. But then here, you now, he says, hi group 3, you'll be investigating Slack, and then he gives you the link there. Please let me know if you run into any difficulties. So then this is the actual online platform, which you are then presenting to Fantastic Music and saying,
So
this
we're
is the best.
representing Slack. Okay.
Really?
Like selling it.
You're
to
pretty
them.
much, you're not working for Slack, but you're kind of external company going,
okay.
this is what we recommend for your situation.
So you know what's there? You maybe sit on where I was yesterday, and I was searching a different because I was just telling Sima about Microsoft Teams.
Yes. So
For Little Royal, so
Yeah.
exactly the same, but it doesn't exactly do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I just did a quick Google search,
Yeah, of
and we
course.
come across Slack.
Yeah. So what's
But-
actually good about what you did yesterday, in your study here, I think it actually says somewhere here, you need to compare Slack to another platform. So you almost have to become familiar with what does this particular
Slack
platform
does.
provide,
Yeah.
and then you're then obviously offering it as in, this is what we think is the best solution for
Yeah.
your your goal, what you're trying to achieve here.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
So you
kind of what
can
we did yesterday.
So you
Sima.
can reference and say, oh, there is other platforms, but this one best suits your particular situation with being a multi-franchise business, location business, with your diversity of age, blah, blah, blah. And so this is why he was saying the first step is that actually as a group, you guys dig in deep and watch tutorials on this, read reviews on it. Even he said, someone activate the free trial of it. Have a look at the product, the solutions, the resources, pricing. And what's a great thing, as soon as you open it up, you can see here, they've already got the support of Fox, Lonely Planet, all these other companies target. So what they're trying to say there is, hey, look, other companies are already using our
that.
brand.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is why we recommend it for you as well, as to be, someone recommend it for this particular business. See you there?
So yesterday we went on to this.
So what was really good, because Camille was saying, not only just look at the website, which provides heaps of information, but one time Google tutorials
Yeah. Okay.
on how is it used. You know what's even great too? He was saying in your presentation, if you are wanting to train the, what do you call them? Employees of this business, you could even find a tutorial video and say, you can all reference this, and this will actually set you up for training in how to use this program. It's easy, it's user friendly, you know them type of words. It's user friendly, it's this. So again, you are really trying to sell the product as being almost like, this is the best solution for you guys. But in saying that, keep that all in mind, but then you've actually got to fulfill this. And so this is probably where you guys can divide this part up. Because I wrote down, he recommended that you do about 500 words each.
Yeah, that's
But in saying that,
Some of
these are
don't-
shorter. Yeah, some of these are shorter. But what I'm thinking is the best way to go about this is, he said it's best to actually give everyone an assigned role in this group assessment.
Yeah.
So he was saying, give everyone a part of it or a particular thing you want to do in this, but then have someone who overall does the overall edit, layout, and stuff like that. So that person can still has to write some of it, of course, but in the end, to make it all flow together, all work well, there needs to be that final person to go, okay, we might need to think. And that probably needs to happen sooner than later, because if that person puts it all together and go, oh, okay, I see, we didn't do our code of conduct, so we're going to have to all work on that, and, And the thing is too, even though this is one, like just say example, this code of conduct, even though it's only 200, 350 words, you could assign a couple of people to go look for code of conducts, bring it back, and then let's edit it together. Like, it's not necessarily that one person just has to do it on their own, but it probably is a good place to start.
When you sort of look at it, That is like one task in itself.
Oh, it is. That is a lone task.
So we can say, okay, Sima, can you go and look for
Code
of conduct, work on it, and it only has to be 200 to 350 words.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
and you can assign bits. The only thing is that I think you all need to start on that same one page in the sense of, this is the product, we know it as a team, we know the company, what we're trying to achieve, because otherwise, if you might just go and go, okay, you look for explain, you look for support, unless you're all on the same page of what you're trying to achieve, I feel like that will direct what you're looking for differently. So I think if you all go, okay, this is our platform, everyone watch this video on it to become familiar with the product. Everyone, let's break down what this means here, the explanation of it. Okay, well, firstly, I can see we're currently based in Melbourne, but the goal is to expand to Adelaide and Gold Coast. Okay, I know that's the goal. Then it says here, I also know the problem I can see in this is everything is on that one computer at that Melbourne base. But now they're saying they need to access the information from that Melbourne base in the multiple stores. But then it's saying here that throughout the group there is a variation between ages. So that's another problem that we have to overcome. That we need to, when we present this, present it to a group of people who, some of them may be familiar with a cloud system, but some may not. And then the final thing is the code of conduct. So if you guys all just start with that same maybe goal in mind of this is the business we're representing, this is the product, then when you go and assign everyone to go do the particular tasks, then everyone will be on the same page of this is what we're trying to achieve.
Yep.
So, but it's pretty straightforward. So if you do go and like assign someone to go, okay, first step, Alana or Simba or whatever, can you please go and explain in short introduction of the platform and what it is. So that is literally explaining what Slack is.
Wow.
And you've only got 150 to 200 words for that.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not that 500 contribution, but
give them another
maybe
small
they
part
can
as
flow
well into the support.
Exactly. Or they could do a little bit of the support, because once they've done the research here, there might be something else. Oh, here, this might be even better. They might be able to actually help with the instructions. Because they've already done research on the product, they might actually be able to go down and start writing the instructions on how to use the platform. So those two might go coupled together, the explain and the instruction part. But then there might be someone else who looks up just the support part and goes, okay, well, the support is actually us diving into more so the lectures from our Moodle and our subject of COM, that because it's saying here that's where you actually need to pull out the textbook and look at the organizational process of information, collaboration in workplace, as well as some sources of evidence, current workplace practices. So this is where you can reference another company. And can I say the best place to do this would be comparing it to another music store?
Oh, okay.
Because if you, like one time, if you compared it to a church, you'd be like, oh, well, but our goals are different. We're trying to, a music store's trying to sell a product. Church is providing a service. Totally different. But if you looked up another music store, it might even have one that they've partnered with and say, well, I can identify from this other music store here that, they've used this type of similar cloud system. It's worked well for them, blah, blah, blah. You can then incorporate that you've had some evidence from another company of a similar goal or industry to support what you're saying there. And then evaluate the platform, the strengths.
Everybody does that.
No, this is actually this is not even that evaluation form. So still you've got to do this. This is actually the platform. This actually might even go better with the explain part, because it's saying here, evaluate the platform, the strengths, the weaknesses.
It will go better.
Research here to give a good idea of best practices in the industry and workplace. So those two might even be more appropriate to couple together.
Yeah, and that's 500 words there.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just work out what best.
So I might just
explain and evaluate together.
Yes.
Them two.
Because the code of conduct would be on its own.
Yes, that's definitely its own task because that's going to take a lot of.
And that's almost 500 words.
Yeah, that one
I
on
lied,
its
sorry. No,
That was
code of
2,
conduct.
350.
Sorry, it's the inclusivity. So that's where that 20 to 60, making it user-friendly type of
Yes.
thing, huh?
And this is where you have to consider the age of the people.
Yep.
Because is it going to work for all age groups? Is it easy to use?
Yeah.
Etc. Stuff like that. Code of conduct, yeah, is pretty much its own independent. Instructions, that's a big part as well because you're actually explaining. You're actually explaining the product and how it's used and how it will work for you guys and what's the benefits of it and blah 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 blah. And obviously it's made note that not to just copy and paste off the website, but in your own wording explain the product. That's kind of its own part as well, really. Yeah. So that's 1, there's 2, 3, 4 already. And then you could just work on the other parts all together.
Yeah.
If you need to. I probably would recommend, if possible, to do it in sequence because I feel like a lot of the information will be relevant to the rest. Yeah. But then your evaluation is individually run.
So there's an evaluation as a group, and then we got our individual one.
So he doesn't evaluate you as a group. He marks the task as a group together. Yeah. So the task, then he will consider your individual evaluations to say, okay, like he said in the other day, he said, if there's someone in the group, don't really worry about this part, but if there's someone obviously in the group who didn't contribute as much or wasn't helpful or, words wasn't staying on task, then you would obviously explain that in your evaluation and he would consider that in your group mark. Usually it's quite fine. He'll just grade you all up for your total piece and then you guys get that same grade each, but only one of these is submitted, this group part here. So from here to here, only one of those is submitted, but then your individual evaluation forms, you do that individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's submitted the same time, huh?
Well, he's actually saying he would like that to be, like he wants this bit first, and then he'll give you the evaluation form. Because I looked online, it's not there yet. He hasn't uploaded it. That's why I asked him the other day on that Zoom, like, where is that form? And he said it's not there yet. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably just identifying who's going to do what part, but you're all getting on the same page about the product itself and what you're trying to achieve. Like I would go through and break this down in my own words and go, okay, this is where we're located. This is our business name. These are the problems we're trying to solve. This is our current problem. It's all on one computer. So I would probably break that down into more of a clear, like, okay, this is who we are, what we're trying, this is the goal, these are the problems we have to overcome. Almost like a SWOT analysis. Have you ever done a SWOT analysis? Yeah. So it's looking at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the problems of the business. So you actually could even just start off with doing that based on this, because that would help you go, okay, the
SWOT analysis.
Yeah, SWOT. And you do it in like anyone got a spare paper here?
Do SWOT. Yeah.
It's like just, that. Yeah, like this. So this is what?
Oh, sorry, go this way. There, that side there.
So you usually do a SWOT analysis like this.
Oh, yeah.
You see one of these?
Yeah.
So SW. Hey, can't even write W. T. And so S stands for strengths. S stands for weaknesses. O stands for opportunities. And then T stands for, what does T stands for? Oh no, SWOT. SWOP. No.
SWOT. But I figured when T stand for.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and.
Hang on. SWOT.
Yeah, can you check there? Yeah, there we go, analysis. Oh, they even got template.
Which one are you go for?
Template, I reckon.
Template.
Oh yeah, what does it stand for?
This one, oh here,
Oh, yeah.
right there.
I think you guys would have learnt about SWOT maybe.
Yeah.
I'll go image there.
Images.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. That's him.
Do.
Threats. Threats.
Threads.
Threats. And that's a good example on there too for breakdown. So this is where you'd actually take the information from that. So let's look at the strengths of this business. The strengths of the business is that what? What's the strength of it that you can see?
It's this business so far.
It has a digital mixture.
It's what?
It also says a mixture of digital competency.
I don't know if that's really a strength. That looks more like a opportunity to improve, because it's saying that it's a mixture. It's saying that not everyone's actually at the same level.
Strengths.
I think the only strength I can see here is that they're expanding, which means that the business is obviously financially in a place. It's growing. So yeah, so we go here that it's expanding, which is the only thing I can see as a strength. So then the weakness of it is that one of the weaknesses is that
One computer.
Yeah.
So one computer.
Main computer.
One computer. What's another weakness?
They've used a one-shop model.
Yeah, one shop model. Very good.
No, right there.
No
Mix-
previous.
Yep, there's a weakness. No previous code of conduct. No code of conduct.
Mixture of digital competencies. That's an opportunity.
Because it's saying that there's something already there, but you can thing on it. So yeah, first opportunity we can see is that the digital competencies.
Opportunity to expand.
The opportunity is the
Expansion of the business.
What's another opportunity?
To go from the one shop to cloud base.
Yeah, so the opportunity is the
to go digital.
Digital, yep, that's definitely an opportunity.
What would the age group come under?
Probably a weakness. Oh no, probably opportunity, because it's saying you could look at it as in the younger fellas could actually help the older people. Yeah. So probably put the age of employees. Because that's good, because here we can talk about your inclusivity. You can say you aren't just limiting the company to a younger base group, because you acknowledge the experience and the thing of those other people. So then the threat of this, the threats I can see in here, don't think of it as like a threat, a physical threat. It's more so threats against the company itself. Like, what's a threat? A threat is that
It could be no code of conduct.
Yeah, that's definitely a threat, because legally you've put themselves in. Yeah, that's actually a good one. That's no code.
Yeah.
Another threat is that if they don't become cloud-based or digital, there will actually be no sharing of information.
Yeah.
So a threat is actually if they do not adapt, is that the right word? Adapt with the technological age.
Yeah.
they'll be left behind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a good one. Wow.
adapt. Sorry, word. Adapt. Adapt to digital. It's actually interesting. The diversity in age could also be a threat because if the younger ones don't, like, if they go ahead and they are, they
So
know how to use this system.
Old school don't want to learn.
Exactly. So that's a threat. Is that lack of teachability?
Yeah.
And also a threat is that if this doesn't work, like if everyone doesn't come on board for this digital thing, the threat is actually
the business closing.
Yeah, it won't be able to expand.
Won't be able to expand.
No expansion. Yeah.
Yeah, but also the business would close because you're not keeping up with the times.
You're not. Yeah.
True.
And see, there's some industries that don't need to. But if you become a multi-location, like if it was in the same town, it'd be a different, thing. But if this is different locations, and one thing he said to mention in here is actually, he pointed this out, you've got different time zones now. You've got now Melbourne, Adelaide, and the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So you're going to have times.
Underline that one, please. Thank you.
You're going to have times where, as a head office in Melbourne, it's going to be a different time zone in the Gold Coast. So it's, if you want to do team meetings, because like I said, I don't actually know much about the Slack system, what it's, has involved in it, but there may be a way of actually reflecting the time zones of the different people and stuff like that. I'm not so sure on how that all works, but it's definitely something to keep in mind here, is that now you're going to go from Melbourne, Adelaide, and Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, that's 3 different time zones.
Exactly. And see, this is the thing too, this is very limited to the information on the business. So Camille did say in his Zoom the other day, feel free to kind of make up the gaps.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you could even, like, one thing that I want to know, which isn't provided in this, is like, does this company already have a website? It doesn't sound like it does.
Yeah.
So, if it doesn't have a website, like, how do they integrate and how do they, what's the right word? If they already had a website, they would know how to use a bit more digital technology. But it seems like this is more so for the team to do communication with each other and understand. Because it's saying here, a lot of the information that is stored in the main computer of the shop, but now needing to work as a cloud-based solution to share important documents across the different shops. So it's trying to indicate to us that there's actually very important information that is needed for the employees. I interpret this not as the product. It needs to be cloud-based. It's more so there's information for the employees within the company. So this is more so looking at how do the employees of the company get the correct information internally. Not the advertising, it's different.
You made me talk about this yesterday. Little Royals.
And so this is the thing too. This is not asking you to come up with the advertising.
No, we're not advertising. No. It's more the information sharing.
Yes, exactly. It's more human resources based. It's more so internally. And this is why, this is why he said here to start off with the support here. He said, go into your textbook and your lectures and look at organizational processes of information, collaboration in the workplace. So he's actually saying, go back to your lectures and look at this first, because this will give you a better idea of, okay, well, what is the process of information in their store? Do they receive information, store it on that computer, and then it stays on that computer? Or is it that information is provided and now it might be provided to the Melbourne store, it might be provided to the Adelaide store, and it might be provided to a Gold Coast store, but it all needs to be stored on the same.
Everyone needs to be on the same wavelength.
Exactly. And then here he also outlines there, not only are you looking at the organisational process, but you're actually looking at collaboration in the workplace. How do people interact with each other? What form of collaboration is there? And so this is what's not clear here, but this is where you can get and make up.
Fill in the gaps.
Okay. Well, as a company, we need to have a weekly staff meeting which incorporates all 3 campuses. So this is to talk with the employees. Then you can look at, okay, maybe there needs to be a KPI set, which is obviously the performance of everyone. Yep.
Indicators.
That actually needs to be conveyed to everyone, and everyone needs to see what each others are doing. In the same way you're doing a group assessment, you could even in that staff meeting or in the way the organisation runs, you could even say, okay, Gold Coast, this is your task. We know that there's a, again, what I was thinking out loud, music festival coming up in the Gold Coast. So you guys this month, your focus is to more so market to that and reach out to that. But then in Melbourne, Adelaide, your goal is to increase sales this month. So you've got to actually look at what within
the demographic.
Inside your team, what is actually required? What does the collaboration in the workplace look like? What type of information would they need to be sharing with each other? Because really, I know a good one. Me and Sam rung the other day a music store. This is actually a very good example. We rung a music store in Cairns here. And I said to them, I've done my research online. This is how much these mic stands, because we're trying to get some new mic stands. I said, this is how much the mic stands cost online. And he said, if you've got proof of it from another store, we'll price match that. Or, we'll beat that price, which is really good. A lot of companies offer that. But then me and Sam went online on a different company, and we saw that on their system, this is how smart they are. It's called Buzz Music, I think, or Store DJ or something like that. I forget. But what happens is you click on the product you're looking at, and on the right-hand side, it has all their stores across Australia, in stock, low stock, this many available. So that's a good example of this music store. Someone comes to your store in Gold Coast, but you don't have that product, but your Melbourne or your Adelaide store has that stock. You need to have an internal process as well within your company. How do you communicate if you need to send that stock from Melbourne to Gold Coast or Gold Coast to Adelaide? So you got to think, and that's why he's saying here, start at looking at what is the collaboration work, what information needs to be processed within a company. So it's probably worth going back and looking at those particular lectures he's talking about there to understand what actually is best.
That one and that one.
What is actually needs to be looked at, because not everything needs to be looked at. It's more so what is the information, what's processing, because once you can get your head around what are you trying to achieve, then this will just flow, because you'll understand your product and you go, oh, so I need to focus on looking at how does Slack provide a staff meeting format. How does that work? And so you can go ahead and do that, and you can look at that particular research. So you're pretty much looking for the solutions to these weaknesses and these threats and opportunities in this product. So the solution to weakness, to threats and opportunities, all has to come from Slack. You have to find solutions to all this from this one.
So basically Slack has
to fulfill these needs.
Okay.
And explain, and that's why the evaluation there. Evaluate the platform. You need to tell me why it fulfills these needs. Not just, it has a good meeting structure. That's good. Why? Because our company requires a multi-campus, multi-time zone platform, so we can have regular monthly staff meetings. So you've got to not just find the solution, but the reason, connect it back to what is the overall goal here? What are we trying to achieve?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. That's good.
Thank you, Lord.
Really hungry.
So I'm stopping now. Are we finished?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll carry on after the recording.
That